Welcome back to the 2011 AFL Grand Final from the MCG. The Pies, they led by 18 points at the 9-minute mark, but the Cats came back. It's the Pies 9-3-57, leading the Cats 8-6-54 by 3 points. And we are joined by a big Cats and Pies fan, Jesse Gorsovsky, the 2011 NAB AFL Oz Kicker of the Year, mate. You won $5,000. What have you done with the money?
I'm giving $1,000 to my mum.
Oh, you're a good man. How much for your dad?
$500.
Oh, Dad hasn't done such a good job, mate. We're nearly set for a start here. You're a big Pies man. What do you think they need to do in the second half?
Pass the ball better.
And how was it playing on the MCG on Grand Final day?
Embarrassed.
He doesn't need to be embarrassed. He's a star, boys. He is our NAB AFL Oz Kicker of the Year for 2011, and he wants to see the Pies get home.
Thanks, Howie. The clouds getting just a little bit darker here at the MCG as we prepare to start the third quarter. There's Josh Hunt getting into position. 3 points the difference. Pendlebury 20 touches for the Magpies. Selwood 15 for the Cats.
I've seen a spark in Collingwood that I haven't seen in the first few finals in the last couple of home and away rounds, but two players out there for Collingwood. We've got Fasolo waiting in the wings. Geelong have used their sub with Duncan coming on for Podsiadly, but Alan Didak just the 4 disposals in the first half, and Jared Blair just the 2. So those blokes need a big set third quarter to remain on the ground for the rest of this grand final.
It's the Magpies by 3. Otten's the tap. Snared by a ball to Pendlebury to Swan. The big guns all combine here for Collingwood. Swan has a bounce. Ineffective kick. Hunt backed himself. Forced to release quickly. Corey to Taylor. In heavy traffic. Coughed it up. Selwood tackled by Ball. Quick toe poke by Cracker. Held up by Wojcinski. Pendlebury again. Kicks inside 50. Scarlett will get there first. To Taylor. Great tackle by Maxwell. He threw it away. Umpire let him get away with it. Handball from Didak. Back to Davis. Leon Davis slipped as he kicked into the pocket. Taylor again to Mackie. To Enright. Enright a long ball back into the middle.
So some big one-on-ones or separate one-on-ones, and O'Brien and also Shaw combine the best at Johnson. Sets into the doors, directs, and he marks. Now, does he think he's capable from here? We know he's a big booming kick.
Haven't seen a lot of Chris Dawes in this game. Just the 6 possessions in the first half and a couple of marks. Been well held for the most part by Lonergan, but very capable of kicking the first goal of the second half from here.
Hasn't been really back to his best since that injury in round 15, but he did have 11 disposals, 5 marks, and kicked 3 goals last week. And this is the time to find the kicking form. Chris Dawes starts left. It's coming back, but not enough. 4 points.
Only a minute 40 into this third quarter, but the pressure, Harry Taylor got lucky a couple of times. Could have been disposed, should have been dropping the ball, but you know, they've only got away with the 1 point against them, the Cats.
Enright chooses the outer side. Turfed out by Corey. Collingwood get it back. Shaw pumps it back inside 50. Sitting himself here is Lonergan. Hunt was the third man up, the third cat up, and he thumped it over the line. 50 out from Collingwood's goal.
Cameron Ling still tracking Dane Swan at the moment. Dane Swan with 14 possessions. Scotty Pendlebury, 22 disposals, 20 in the first half.
Otten's got the tap comfortably. Corey out to Bartel. Duncan smashed it forward only as far as Davis. Concedes some territory, goes back to Reid. High ball, Ottens. Wojcinski takes the mark on defensive 50.
He does. That's where all the action is, right out at halfback at the intersection of the boundary and the 50. So Collingwood trying to keep it that way, not let Geelong out. Wojcinski again goes for distance and for Hawkins. Tuvey. And neither side will be too disappointed with that result. Scott Pendlebury, 22 disposals in this game. Clearly the most prolific. 16 for Johnson, 15 for Selwood, 14 for Bartel. The big names on top of the list really for both sides. And here's Pendlebury again. That's not his best effort. Selwood have been tackled in fierce fashion by Collingwood at the start of this quarter, and it's starting to show a little bit. Hunt, Chapman, he's one who needs to live for the Cats. Got close attention. Oh, the umpire paid the advantage. Duncan wasn't so sure. Mackie quickly gets his wits about him. It's deep, it's high, it's full forward, it's Shaw, and it's Hawkins! And it's Geelong in front.
Still think Travis Cloke the most dangerous player on the ground, but the responsibility on the young shoulders of Tom Hawkins. Chris Scott loves it. No Podsiadly. Hawkins has been great in this game. He's contested really well. He has to stand up big time in the second half.
Selwood, great tackle by Swan, wants the free kick, none forthcoming. Pendlebury again got caught high by Mackie and receives the free kick. So possession 24 coming up for Scott Pendlebury, the man who won last year's Norm Smith in the grand final replay. Ball down the line, standing firm is Lonigan. No premiership medal yet for Tom Lonigan. Maybe today. But Leon Davis wants to have a big say in that as he takes the mark on centre wing. Kicks to Thomas. Goes inboard to Jolly. Little 1-2. Worked it well back to Thomas. Measures the kick to the tip of the goal square. Scarlett gets there first. Can't take the mark. Didak lurking. Kicks it out of bounds on the full.
Matty Scarlett reads the play so well, but Alan Didak just got to get in front and at least create a contest, which he hasn't done for most of the day.
So it's back in the hands of Corey Enright. Lofts the ball out to halfback. Hawkins doing a power of work. Actually competed against Bartel there. Duncan smothered again. Johnson feeding it to Shaw. The mates working together. That went straight up and down. Hawkins flies again. You heard the call. Cloak. And the Cats not giving him an inch. Chapman almost had the jumper stripped.
What do you reckon, Darcy? They can't afford to go the sub, can they, Collingwood? As bad as Didak and Blair are performing, do you think it leaves them open in case of an injury?
Probably too big a risk at this stage of the quarter. The thing they have got is that up their sleeve, because we know that Mitch Duncan's come on as the sub, Podsiadly off. So you think maybe another 10 minutes. Let it go to about the 5 minutes to go in this quarter.
Christensen just couldn't keep his footing. Shaw did enough. Johnson sets it up. They come, Dawes at the back. Did he get enough of it? Not quite. Thomas from one way, Wellingham the other. Knew exactly where to go, and his kick was... He thinks it's a goal. It is!
Geelong players straight away, they are arguing vehemently at the moment. Now the umpire's going to go back.
It's goal. It's been cleared as a goal.
Well, behind the goal, it appeared that it was a behind. I was judging from the reaction behind the goal, but let's have a look. This will give us the best view.
Oh, no. It's hit the post.
Oh, we've seen it again. Can you believe it?
Umpire's right there.
And Scarlett just points straight away and says, come on, that's hit the middle part of the post.
Jeez.
You've got to be able to get that right. And look at Chris Scott. He's seen the replay. Big moment in this game. He's just shaking his head saying, come on. In the modern era, with the replays we've got, no mistake about that. That has hit the woodwork. The fans behind know. Everyone else on the ground knows. Bad mistake.
Did the umpires confer? They didn't appear to.
Controversy strikes the grand final of 2011. Collingwood in front by 4 points.
Well, at least we've had one each. I think the Dane Swan mark should have been paid. Jimmy Partel got a goal out of it, but that is a bad call from the umpire.
Corey kicks to half forward. Tarrant against Johnson. Tarrant goes straight for the boundary line and disguised it beautifully. So here's one more look. Goal umpire right underneath it. Shaved the posts and the ball certainly diverted.
It's back to round one, isn't it, for Chris Scott and his emotions?
Geelong work it inside 50. Hawkins against Reid.
Of course, Collingwood fans probably claim that they're owed one back from 2002 quarters with Anthony Rocker.
Anthony Rocker against the Brisbane Lions. Back in similar conditions that day. In fact, probably a little bit worse than today. At least the rain's cleared here at the MCG. It's deep in Geelong's attacking territory, and that's a free kick going to Shaw.
Interesting Chris Scott at the moment. As we see a free kick shaking the head again. He's choosing to go just with Hawkins as a key forward. He's got Ottens off the ground. West is in the ruck. At some point, he's got to go back to the two key forwards, but maybe he just feels that ruckman need a rest and they've got to come through the interchange as well.
He might feel that they were a bit top heavy, and maybe in some ways the Podsy Adley injury has freed them up a little.
Shaw. Long ball. Jolly's caught behind here. No mark in front, and it falls to Blair, who's got to do a bit more. He kicks to half forward, and there's the two men combining that have struggled. Blair to Didak. Good to see if you're a Collingwood fan. Didak goes onto the right boot. He kicks towards Cloak. Ball comes to ground. Cracker's lurking dangerously. Hot on his heels is Selwood. Selwood lays the tackle. Cracker over the top. Umpire says, I will bounce. 15 out from the Magpies goal.
You hear the umpire's explanation saying he got pushed on top of the footy, and as a result, no prior opportunity. And I think a very, very good call from the umpire.
Jolly and West and everybody else. Everyone has to be a ruckman these days. Into the pocket, Chapman took them on a bit. Christensen didn't have a choice. And again, the umpire will have to bounce it or throw it in the forward pocket. Everybody getting into the spirit. Pies swarming around. Jolly gets it down. Side bottom. It's up. Thomas allowed it to wait. Not paid. Had to react quickly. Oh, an unbelievable kick. Just for a moment, we all thought that might have been a goal.
Tom Lonergan doesn't get the plaudits, but as we see, Thomas nearly kicked the miraculous. But since he's gone on to Travis Cloak, he hasn't touched the football for about the last 25 minutes. So got doors early, did the job there, and now he's going pretty well on Cloak.
Booming kick from Hunt to a contest. Selwood lays the tackle. Little soccer off the ground by Corey. Christensen. Clever tackle by Pendlebury. Very clever tackle by Pendlebury. Wants the free kick. Umpire not going to give anything on anything. So we'll have another bounce. There's the Prime Minister watching on with the CEO of the AFL. So the whistle's away at the moment. Quick kick by Corey once again to half forward. Maxwell paddling. Johnson into the picture. Picked up by Mackie. Fires out the handball. Here's Wajinski. Off to Chapman. Kicks long towards the goal square, and the mark's taken by Hawkins. Playing in front. The Premier of Victoria likes it.
Tell you what, Tommy Hawkins' work rate in this game has just been enormous. He's been up at half-back contesting. His power run back all the way inside 50. And look at that mongrel floating kick inside 50. Hawkins in front. He has been sensational.
For his second. And this to put the Cats back in front.
Cameron Mooney's missed out today, and look at this at half-time, talking to young Tom Hawkins, who's had a pretty big presence in the last couple of quarters, and I don't reckon Reid is moving very well, Hutto. I thought that he was pretty lame and gave a metre to Tom Hawkins in that marking contest.
Well, Tarrant's on West at the moment. I wonder whether they think about moving Tarrant. That was speculative from Shaw. Falls Geelong's way. Bartel, no real outlet initially. Now a throw. Free kick advantage. Thomas happy to take that. Spreads it wide using the width of the MCG. Maxwell knew that Selwood was close and that side bottom was ahead. It works out okay. Geelong just full of ferocity at the moment. Handball from Varco goes straight back to Dawes though. It's gone up a notch or two if that's possible. Side bottom hit and hope. And well done, Lonergan's got Cloak covered again. It's over and out. We're getting the halfway stage of this third quarter in the grand final, boys.
The contests are just
How
so
good is it?
It's fantastic. I think I get the feeling, though, just on the outside, when you've got the run of side bottom, you've got the run of Wellingham on the outside, they look really dangerous still, Collingwood.
Ball. Great stuff from Ball. Didn't panic. Kept his head. Spotted up Brown, who should go back and have a shot directly in front. Who will be kicking from right on 50.
Centre clearance there, Luke Ball. They'll be asking the Geelong midfield, how can a player get out like that? But these kicks now, that's what the game comes down to. Who takes their chances, who doesn't. One that should be kicked.
8 lead changes in the match so far. Brown. Wonderful kick. Collingwood in front.
James Posiadley on the bench for the Geelong Football Club. There was talk he was going to hospital, but he said, no, I want to stay, I want to see it out. And by gee, the man stepped up for him, that man there, Tom Hawkins, playing the game of his life.
Not the fairy tale Posiadley would have imagined, but it can still have that ending that he was after, but it's out of his hands now. Ottens, as they climb on in, goal for goal in this third quarter. What a wonderful contest, and it's getting better and better.
Just keep an eye on this stoppage we're going to see. The Magpies, they're great at competing inside, but they look so dangerous with their leg speed when the footy bounces out.
It hasn't come out yet.